Hi there guys, Outlaw Dolphin here, and we're going to continue Dragon Age Inquisition. We're just about to finish off the Western Approach. However, I've done the farming that I needed to off camera to get my Knight Enchanter stats. And we're going to finish off the Western Approach in style, and we're going to be fighting a dragon today. Yeah. Okie dokie, so as you can see I'm here with a new team. We have Varric, Vivienne and Cassandra. We're all ready and dressed for the battle at Adamant. However, we need to speak with Frederick of Serul first to tell him that we have his research materials.
The theory of high dragon behavior is absurd, but... Oh, yes? Did you need something?
I have the supplies you were waiting for right here.
Now that I have my recipes back, I'll be able to concoct a bait the high dragon cannot resist. I have most of what I need, but I still need to gather quillback intestines and a phoenix's tail feather.
Tell me more about
You
dragons.
study dragons. I'd be interested in hearing more about that.
Oh, they are fascinating and little understood creatures, thought extinct for centuries. Now they seem to be making a comeback. The Nevarrans wrote extensively on breeding and nesting behavior, but high dragon hunting patterns have never been studied. I would be most interested if you come across any Gurn corpses that might be victims of dragon attacks.
Are you truly safe out here, Frederick?
The rest of your team went missing, and there are raiders all over the area. Should you be here alone?
I don't know what happened to the rest of the expedition, but the raiders have left me completely undisturbed. I have also seen grey Wardens and strangers in odd black clothing, but they all ignore my presence completely.
And tell me about yourself.
Tell me about yourself.
I am a professor at the University of Orlais. I have made it my life's work to write the definitive monograph on the hunting habits of dragons and their closest kin. On this trip alone, I have produced 20 scrolls of notes, more scholarship than has ever been done on the Southern Vargest. But my hope, my great ambition, is to observe the abyssal high dragon taking her prey, a sight no scholar has ever recorded.
Okie dokie, so we're going to go
We'll
have a look for those Gurn corpses and the quillback intestines. They're probably being paid to leave him alone. They probably want him left alone. We have found notes that say how they want to do exactly that. They want to leave him undisturbed. They want to somehow capture this dragon themselves, maybe. So, we are looking for Gurn corpses. They are not particularly difficult to spot. They are plentiful in number around. Why am I invisible? I think... Oh, there we are. I think there's probably a texture glitch somewhere. But nothing we can't deal with. Gurn corpses you'll find there's one nearby.
We should look around.
There it is. It's hard to spot from a distance, but if you get within...
My dear, you're going to smell of carrion for hours.
Oh well. Yes, Vivienne likes hygiene. That doesn't shock me. Oh, that looks like a fight we want to be in. Even though it's not really a fight, the wildlife tend to leave each other alone. I just want to grab the attention of that quillback. It's only through killing quillback that we will be able to gather the intestines that we need so badly. And let's show off. Oh, 1000 damage. Pull back lever, yeah. Yeah. This is what you get for being a Knight Enchanter. You get a great big giant lightsaber. Oh, I wonder if this counts as Dragon Gurn attacks. I don't think it will. Does it? No, it doesn't. But there's one right here. So that's 2. Just need to find 2 more. Come here. Hopefully I can get rather lucky with Quillbacks here. And someone can give me... Why do I keep turning invisible? Ah! Gather Quillback into... Yeah, I have to be in this area. Probably. Let's check the map. If I go any further than this. So you can see that there are Gurn corpses on the map. They're somewhere within those purple areas. So you don't have to be as lucky as I thought. I've probably just never looked at the map at that site before. I just really hope a Quillback spawns. I can see a hyena. This one might take a while. Huzzah! I'd never been so unlucky with Quillback intestines in all my playthroughs. That took about... a good 15 minutes? I'd never had to wait around for Quillbacks to spawn before. Normally they just... Plink! And I got one. Normally first one and I get it. Never even know I'm really looking for it. Anyway, so we've also done the Gurn locations. So now we're just straight back to Frederick. And we will find out our next task.
It seems very unlikely that she could be nesting at this time of year. Ah, fellow researcher, how can I help you?
I've found the dragon signs.
I've spotted several dragon signs around the approach.
Most excellent, my friend. I don't suppose you noted the wound pattern? No matter, I'll look into that later. Andrast is mercy. From what I can tell, the dragon has been moving east and will be scouring the wastes next. Naturally, the dragon's hunting ground is full of miscreants, White Claw raiders. They've covered the area in traps for maker-only-knows reasons. Quite a mess.
And I have the ingredients.
1 tail feather and 1 batch of intestines, as requested.
My friend, you are invaluable. I will certainly note your assistance in my monograph on the High Dragon. I will attempt to lure her out as soon as my background research is complete. Mistakes could be deadly. The ancient Tevinters wrote volumes on the study of dragons. I believe they had a laboratory in this desert. If only their work had not been lost. Truly, the Blights set the field of draconology back centuries. Deplorable.
I have found that manuscript.
I found this manuscript on dragons in an ancient Tevinter laboratory. Will it help you?
What remarkable diagrams. Are these chambers of the draconic heart? Oh, if only I could read the script. Do you perhaps know a linguist? Or a Tevinter historian?
I don't, but the Inquisition might. I'll speak to our specialists.
And off we go.
We'll have to speak some other time.
So now we have the ability to destroy the traps. But first, what's best for us to do is to head back to Skyhold and get the translation for the text. There we go. So we're now back, and we have translated the Tevinter tome. So now we speak to Frederic for the final parts of the quest.
Oh, yes? Did you need something?
The manuscript is translated.
My people have translated that Tevinter manuscript.
Studies on dragon hunting patterns? Migrations? Ha! Durant's theory that dragons can't see the color blue is refuted. Now, I need to determine the appropriate spots so the lures can be planted. If you've observed anything, perhaps Gurn with the claw and burn marks of a dragon attack, I would be glad to hear of it.
We'll have to speak some other time.
Okie dokie, so we're now off to loot this chest that's been hiding here. We're also going to we're going to undo the White Claw Raider traps, and we're going to set our own bait. This could attract the attention of Varghasts in the area. Hopefully not, but this will definitely attract the attention of raiders, which we'll have to deal with after. These traps are usually quite easy to spot. They look kinda roundish. There's one. There we go, so that's one. You can normally do this in a bit of a circle, as they do seem to kind of surround this ruin here. We'll find some more on the other side. Once we destroy all of them, there'll be a raider party who will be trying to stop us. Once we kill them, we'll be able to lay our own bait. So there's all kinds of nasties out here. There's a phoenix. I saw a quillback over there. There's also some Varghasts. So you do need to be kind of cautious. I'm trying to avoid combat so that none of my crew have to use healing items, so that we have them for the fight. So then that way my group have every possible ability. Good, that Varghast just walked into a raider camp. Hopefully no stray arrows will come in my direction. Is that a trap? No, it's not a trap. I'm not sure what it is that keeps turning me invisible. I think maybe I've used an item that has... Uh-oh. This doesn't work out too well. Oh, and Cassandra just used her ability to rally, so now we're all building guard. This is a very defensive focus ability. I'm on my arse for some reason. There we go. Oh, we're just looking for one more trap. Where could it be? I'm uncertain if there are 5 set, or if once you've undone one and it takes a while it comes back. I can't quite remember. Let's check the map. Ah, it's right in front of me. I think there are 5 set, and then we have to re-trigger them. Whereabouts? I should be right on top of it. Unless if I hover over it. Yeah. So he's giving me a general area. Being a nice enchanter is great. Ooh, just barely avoided you. It works out very well when the rogues start to come after you. Really don't want to piss off the wildlife. It's taking me long enough to find this trap. I think... No. So there's so much crap on the floor. It's really making it difficult for me to spot it. I believe it's probably round the back of the ruin, maybe. Somewhere in and around. Really having a hard time with this one. Is that it there? There it is.
The men
Whoa!
of these will come for us.
There we go. So once you've done all 5, there will be a raider party that will come at you from kind of like a northish direction. It's normally not too many. It's probably only 1 or 2 raiders. Or was it 3? Yeah, White Claw poacher leader. Just hack him to pieces. So now that's him dealt with. Now I believe we need to speak with Frederic once. Oh no, we'll kill the White Claws. There's still more. Yeah, it looks like there's just one more. Oh! Now I just return to Frederic and he will give us the bait that we need. And then we will have ourselves a dance with death.
After more than 30 days, I have yet to observe the abyssal high dragon in... Oh, yes? Can I assist you?
The raiders are dead.
The raiders are no longer in the way.
I've made note of the appropriate spots in the wastes for you to place lures. Place this bait, and then wait. It will be a momentous achievement in draconology.
I'm gonna go beta dragon.
I'm off to plant the bait for the High Dragon.
I cannot wait to hear your observations. You must make note of how she circles the hunting area.
Oh, she's not gonna circle
Some
anything.
other time.
There we go, so untrapping the raider traps, we now have 5 specific locations for placing the lure. And we'll go from right to left. And just simply wait. There you go, so you'll recognise them as being the same locations. And you'll see that now there's hardly anything in this area. It's a good job too, because if we had to fight... Ooh, am I near one? If we had to fight the dragon, as well as all the other creatures that could come out and attack us, and the raiders, it would not be ideal, and this would not be an ideal first dragon to fight. But then, there barely is.
A dragon, on purpose. Right. Should have stayed home today.
Then there barely is a dragon to attract or fight first, efficiently or easy. And here comes the Abyssal High Dragon. Now I'm not...
A dragon. Let's be sure she leaves us in one piece.
I'm not streamlined for fighting this dragon, because I can't remember if it's a Storm Drake or a Fire Drake. If it is a Storm Drake, I've poorly chosen the wrong element to attack with. I believe it's fire, so I would have preferred to have used ice on this dragon. It's going to attack us almost immediately. There we go. Okay, so dragons tend to use almost every part of their body. They'll use their head, all four limbs, a tail, they'll even use their wings. There we go, and we'll just hack away at the guard. This could take a while. These are tremendous battles that you fight, and they can take a long time. When a dragon beats its wings like this, the best thing to do is to literally get in at its feet, because it will drag you in anyway, so you might as well be up close. Once you're up close, you will take no damage from it. I will use Mark of the Rift at some point, that's what I'm waiting for. I've always adored Inquisition precisely for these moments. Fighting a dragon here in Dragon Age is a lot more eventful than fighting a dragon in Skyrim, which was another game that I fell in love with quite easily. Gonna get tail whipped. So you can see I have a barrier. This is the reason why being a Knight Enchanter is so indestructible. I have a barrier which will fade in time. It's granted to me by others at the moment. But so long as I keep attacking, and attacking heavily, my barrier will maintain. So if I keep the pressure and keep attacking, I'm unbeatable to this dragon. Like, this dragon can't kill me so long as I keep attacking it. There you go. We're going to want to use Mark of the Rift while it has no guard. Otherwise, Mark of the Rift will just destroy all the guard. And we won't do any damage to Dragon's actual health bar. So maybe once we do away with the guard the dragon has now. It's going to hit me. There we go. Now, I kind of do wish I was using a bit more ice damage, because it's taking a while. There we go. Now you just literally need everyone to just wail on it, because it will be stunned, so it can't move away at great speed. Oh, and there we go. You cripple one of the legs and it will fall over. go, so now everyone can just keep getting on more damage as criticals will become a lot easier at this point. Just be thankful that I'm not using any fire damage. Everyone is pretty much, I even gave Varric a lightning rune. Oh boy, Varric's down, Varric's back up. Need to keep the pressure on. There we go, and there's my guard, moving with every time I attack with my spectral blade. However, you do need to keep an eye on your mana. You will need to tap out at some point so that continue to use the heaviest abilities. Or just allow the charge of your spectral blade to go up quite heavily. Ah, you're not kicking me. There we go, got it fall over again. And we're quite nearly done here. I'm surprised with how quickly we're doing this. Going to charge for a fire attack. Going to go right through it. And hack away at the back leg. I got yourself some guard right at the last moment. But the lower the health is when it grants guard, the easier the guard is to destroy. I've got no mana and no barrier. And there we go. Shan't be too much longer now. There we go. That's our first dragon. The Abyssal High. Where's the dragon skull? Yay! There we go. So, gold, unique dagger, a nice ring, intense dragon blood. This will help you make demon runes. Dragon's tooth helps create masterworks, and dragon. Nice. Report back to Frederick. There we go, that was quite a little efficient team I had going there. Once you defeat the dragon, all the denizens of the Western Approach start to come back. It's not too much of a surprise. Let's just be glad we're not bothered by them when we are fighting the dragon. I'm quite happy with how little of time that actually took as well. Obviously, the further we get into the game, the more challenging each dragon will be. But because I have the knowledge of these dragons, which type of dragon and where dragons are. Oh no, don't attack Frederick. There we go.
Of course, your theory of high dragon behavior is absurd, but... Oh, yes? Did you need something?
God.
Return whenever you like. I'm always glad of the company of...
Shut up. I want to pick up the loot that's near you.
What was that?
Oh, for crying out loud.
What can I do for you?
The dragon's dead.
A high dragon attacked me when I planted the bait. I'm afraid it's dead.
She attacked? How wonderful! You had a first-hand view of her behavior. Did you take any notes on her aggressive posturing? I suppose you wouldn't have. No matter.
He talks like I had the time to break out pen and paper.
At a later time, of course. I could join your Inquisition. My expertise could be of use, and your scouts could help me find other specimens.
Head to Skyhold.
Certainly. I'm sure the Inquisition could use a draconologist.
Excellent. I'm sure my research will be of great use to you.
Now can I pick up this? Thank you. Okie dokie, so we're back here in Skyhold. Now, after dealing with the dragon, our next step is to head for Adamant. I just want to see if there's some dialogue we can get from the characters before we do this, however.
I can't recall where I
can keep staring at this, but I won't get any closer.
Can I help at all?
Something I can help you with?
Yes. Possibly. We saw so many Red Templars at the assault on Haven. Perhaps all that was left of the Order. What we didn't see was Lord Seeker Lucius. Indeed, I've seen no hint of any Seekers amongst the Red Templars, or anywhere. I have a growing suspicion Corypheus has imprisoned them.
This is important to you. Couldn't they be dead?
Why imprisoned? He could just as easily have killed them.
Not easily. But yes, they may be dead. But the Seekers began this war against the mages. They cannot have simply vanished. There must be a trail we can follow, yet so far I have only discovered hints.
What if they're infected?
But they could have ended up just like the Red Templars.
Seekers do not use lyrium. I assume Corypheus gained control of the Templars by corrupting the lyrium they were already taking. To do the same to a Seeker, you'd have to force the lyrium upon him. That may be what happened, but it couldn't have begun that way. We're missing a piece of the puzzle, Inquisitor. I need to find it.
This is important to you.
Finding them obviously means a lot to you.
I left the Order, but I can never abandon them. I cannot even claim that rescuing them would be beneficial. They wouldn't look kindly on the Inquisition. But even so, if there's a chance... If we can spare resources to follow up on these leads, Inquisitor, I would appreciate it.
So that gives us an operation on the table to find their location. We will do that. Let's speak to Josephine.
Inquisitor, I was just inspecting our new headquarters. Foundation cracks, nesting animals, and miles from any centers of civilization. The staff must make it presentable if we're to receive any visitors of distinction.
Our allies will be forgiving.
The people coming know we just survived Corypheus and a dragon.
And they must be confident we are able to do so again. The mages are showing great trust in you. They need to feel safe here.
And you don't?
Do you not feel safe here?
I've had difficulty forgetting Corypheus' attack on Haven. Do you know who first leapt to arms? Our workers. They were so proud of our cause. Corypheus simply cut them down. So much screaming after that first blast of fire. So many people turned to ash.
I'm troubled by it as well.
I keep feeling that fire's heat on the back of my neck, too.
Indeed. But you're the one who led us to safety. Well, before I return to my duties, allow me to congratulate you on your appointment as Inquisitor, my lord. I will now bring diplomatic issues to your attention, and I'm more than happy to help with any situations that arise.
Would you care to go for a stroll?
I'm loath to part from such pleasant company. Would you care to walk the castle with me?
Oh, well, a tour then? Let me fetch the steward.
That isn't precisely what I was hoping for.
Well, do let me know if you change your mind. Now I must find someone to prepare the guest quarters.
Just also wish to speak with Varric and Vivienne before we continue. We will be taking them to Adamant anyway. Varric, Vivienne, and then we'll deal with something on the throne. Are you alright?
That got a little heated. Are you all right?
Well, that depends. How angry is Cassandra? I wasn't trying to keep secrets. I told the Inquisition everything that seemed important at the time.
I believe you.
I know, Varric. You never would have kept quiet otherwise.
I keep hoping none of this is real. Maybe it's all some bullshit from the Fade and it'll just disappear. I know I need to do better. I'm sorry.
Aw. Yeah, see, promise of destruction. Have Cullen, Liliana, or Josephine investigate the disappearance of the Seekers. Yeah, screw it. Let's speak to Dorian as well.
Anything interesting?
A letter regarding Felix, Alexius's son. He went to the Magisterium, stood on the Senate floor and told them of you. A glowing testimonial, I'm informed. No news on the reaction, but everyone back home is talking. Felix always was as good as his word.
Was.
He's dead. The Blight caught up with him.
So quickly.
It's barely been any time at all. Was he so ill?
Honestly, he should have died a long time ago. Alexius was using magic to keep him alive. Felix used to sneak me treats from the kitchens when I was working late in his father's study. Don't get into trouble on my behalf, I tell him. I like trouble, he'd say. Tevinter could use more mages like him. Those who put the good of others above themselves.
And follow his example.
He should be an example for others to follow, or his death is wasted.
Should I spread the word? We could spawn the cult of Felix within a matter of days.
There are worse things.
Probably true. And you're right. His actions should not be forgotten. Thankfully, Felix wasn't the only decent sort kicking around Thedas.
And Vivienne, which we will find knocking about on the balcony, as literally she builds herself up on a balcony.
It's a noble calling, the Knight Enchanter. You have joined the ranks of the most select mages. You should be commended. So few have the discipline necessary.
You're a Knight Enchanter too?
I didn't realize you were a Knight Enchanter, Vivienne.
Of course I am, darling. Knight Enchanters serve in the highest echelons of the Chantry and Circle. Where else would I be?
We are the best. I prefer fighting up front.
I simply prefer to be on the front line.
It's always best to take charge, my dear.
There we go, now I'm going to take a shortcut.
There is something.
And what's this? Mother Giselle.
My Lord Inquisitor, it's good of you to speak with me. I have news regarding one of your companions, the Tevinter.
Don't like him, do you?
Is that a note of distaste I detect, Mother Giselle?
I admit his presence here makes me uncomfortable, Inquisitor, but my feelings are of no importance. I have been in contact with his family. House Pavas, out of Carenas. Are you familiar with them?
We've never met, no.
Familiar? We've never met, if that's what you're suggesting.
I'm suggesting nothing. I'm only curious whether you know of his situation. The family sent a letter describing the estrangement from their son and pleading for my aid. They've asked to arrange a meeting quietly without telling him. They fear it's the only way he'll come. Since you seem to be on good terms with the young man, I'd hoped...
I'm not going to trick Dorian into meeting people he doesn't want to see.
If you think I'm going to trick Dorian into meeting his family...
I feared you might say that. The family will send a retainer to meet the young man at the Red Cliff Tavern, to take him onward. If he truly does not wish this reunion, he can always end the matter there. I pray you change your mind, Inquisitor. Perhaps their letter will persuade you. If there is any chance of success in this, it behooves us to act.
Oh god, I really have to read this. Okie dokie. Official looking letter. Your Reverence. I understand that you feel inadequate to the task of bringing Dorian to a secret meeting, even in the asking. I find it difficult to believe myself. Considering my son has rebuffed all contact, this is the only way. I know him. He would be too proud to come if he knew. Even just to talk. That is all we wish to do. The thought of Dorian in the south, placing himself in the path of such danger, alarms us more than I can express. If this somehow succeeds, we have a family retainer at the Vandral Hills watching for Dorian's arrival. He will bring the boy to us, somewhere private. If Dorian utterly refuses to go with him, it ends there, and there is nothing we can do. We are at our wits' ends. Graciously yours, Magister Hallward of House Parvus. So his father is a Magister, and now we're going to judge the guilty.
Mayor Gregory Dedrick of Crestwood is present for betraying his own constituents. He confesses that, 10 years ago, he flooded Old Crestwood to kill refugees and villagers touched by the Blight. The mayor claims it was to spare the rest of Crestwood, but we only have his word.
A severe crime, either way.
What he did can't be overlooked, no matter the motive.
There's no cure for the Blight. But I couldn't convince anyone to leave a sick child or husband behind.
So you herded the infected into one place and flooded Old Crestwood? Were no innocents caught in the waters?
Nearly everyone in the village had the Blight. I swear it. Have mercy. I couldn't tell the survivors I'd drowned their own families to save them. I couldn't.
Ferelden can have him.
You committed murder on Ferelden's soil. Let them deal with your punishment. Send him to Denerim. He can live the rest of his life behind their bars.
In prison? Maker. I should have drowned with them.
Do I have yet another? Oh, service, yes.
Before you is Service of the Minrathous Circle of Magi. You met him and his Venatori in the Western Approach. He admits to working for Corypheus, raising monsters, and using magic for conquest. He also used his connections to smuggle magical artifacts out of the Approach, without his master's consent.
I'm actually impressed.
You stole from Corypheus. I don't know whether that's stupidly brave or bravely stupid.
I was hired by a third party. I've no loyalty to him. Might you find that useful, Your Worship?
I'm sorry, are you attempting to bargain with us?
Bargain? I plead. I throw myself on your mercy. I also have friends in Tevinter who owe me large debts. Leave what happened in the Approach behind us, Inquisitor, and I can put them all at your disposal.
So there we go. So because we have our knowledge of the underworld, we can hire him as a smuggler, which we will do.
Someone who can smuggle magical artifacts to Tevinter and back shouldn't be wasted on court diplomacy. Bring those artifacts back to the Inquisition. Procure something really useful, and we might loosen the shackles.
Your Worship knows value when he sees it. I won't disappoint.
There we go, now dealing with all of those. It's time to judge the Grey Wardens.
Adamant Fortress has stood against the Darkspawn since the time of the Second Blight.
Fortunately for us, that means it was built before the age of modern siege equipment. A good trebuchet will do major damage to those ancient walls. And thanks to our Lady Ambassador...
Lady Cyril of Jadar was pleased to lend the Inquisition her sappers. They've already delivered the trebuchets.
That is the good news.
I'm listening.
And the bad news?
Adamant called the ritual at the western approach a test. He may already be raising his army of demons in the fortress.
The Inquisition forces can breach the gate. But if the Wardens already have their demons...
I found records of Adamant's construction. There are choke points we can use to limit the field of battle.
That's good. We may not be able to defeat them outright. But if we cut off reinforcements, we can carve you a path to Warden Commander Clarel.
Then there's no other way.
So our plan is to lay siege to a legendary fortress filled with demons?
It'll be hard fought, no way around it. But we'll get that gate open.
It's also possible that some Wardens may be sympathetic to our cause.
The warriors may be willing to listen to reason, though I doubt they will turn against Clarel directly. The mages, however, are slaves to Corypheus. They will fight to the death.
We've built the siege engines and readied our forces, Inquisitor. Give the word, we march on Adamant.
Adamant Fortress has withstood countless Darkspawn attacks without falling. The Grey Wardens defending its walls are legendary warriors. To prevent Warden Commander Clarel from raising an army of demons, Inquisition forces will need siege endings powerful enough to breach Adamant's defences. Watching that cutscene, I always get such Two Towers vibes, like the battle for Helm's Deep.
Pull back! They're through! Alright, Inquisitor. You have your way in. Best make use of it. We'll keep the main host of demons occupied for as long as we can.
Don't take any risks.
I'll be fine. Just keep the men safe.
We'll do what we have to, Inquisitor. Warden Stroud will guard your back. Hawk is with our soldiers on the battlements. He's assisting them until you arrive. There's too much resistance on the walls. Our men on the ladders can't get a foothold. If you can clear out the enemies on the battlements, we'll cover your advance.
There we go, I'm just going to pick up some loot, and here we are in Adamant. We're going to cut a bloody path through the bastions in the ground, so we can help our forces on the walls. Our force is not as shiny as the Grey Wardens, but I believe our armour, the shields that you see are Inquisition soldiers using, they look very efficient, even though they are more wooden as opposed to the Grey Wardens metal. As when you hear Blackwall talk, he talks about how a lot of Grey Wardens' weapons and armor are made of silverite and everite, because that has properties unique to dealing with Darkspawn. There we go. I'm going to examine this rock here. This was clearly fired at the Wardens by the Inquisition soldiers. Inscription upon a trebuchet stone. In flowing formal script. All who walk in the sight of the Maker are one. An amendum underneath it painted quickly and sloppily. Stick this in your taint, Blighty. Nice. So clearly someone very religious wrote on that, and someone not very religious wrote on it.
Stay back! We will not be sacrificed for some insane ritual!
So here we have some Warden warriors that Leliana was talking about. Some who might be willing to turn against Warden Commander Chlorel and actually help us fight. It's important not to get too close to them, as they will tell you to not come any closer.
It's no use! Their minds are not their own! Keep your distance!
Just fall back.
The Inquisition is here to stop Chlorel, not to kill Wardens. If you fall back, you won't be harmed.
All right. My men will stay back. We want no part of this. Deal with Chlorel as you must.
Nice, thank you.
I had hoped some of the Wardens would listen to reason.
Stroud is very grateful for that. He wants to see Grey Wardens spared. If you're here with Blackwall, he will also appreciate the fact that you just spared 2 soldiers. 3 soldiers, I think. It can be really easy to encroach on them too closely, and then they will become hostile themselves. Because they think you're going to kill them. And then you end up having to, because you won't be able to talk to them. Back. I'm just going to pick up this. There we go, so now we have 3 siege points to clear.
Clear the ladder! Our forces need a way up!
There we go, so that dealt with that demon. The Spectral Blade also does very well at finishing off.
Clear!
Let's get to the next one. You can press on ahead, Your Worship.
And it doesn't require a lot of mana to be used, which is very nice. So once enemies get a bit close to you, you're all spent out of mana and you can't really do any abilities. And then just a couple swings. Oh, 1400 damage. I've seen some monster damage come out of this thing on criticals. I think the most damage I ever done was to a dragon in one fight in one playthrough that I done, and it was probably it hit on a critical, and it was the fade step. So I passed through, and the ice damage was about 4,000. That was an eye opener. So we've cleared out 1. Still have 2 more to go. And here you can start to see the extent of what's happening. You've got Pride Demon, which are widely considered the most powerful demons ever encountered, and Despair Demons. And another reason why I went with this build is putting pride demons on their knees will save everyone a lot of grief. As pride and despair demons are probably the most annoying to fight. Pride demons for their strength.
I thought your men could use some help up here.
Protect them.
Good work. Stay with my forces and see that they survive this.
I'll keep the demons off them as best I can.
An unsigned letter. Do the mages seem different to you? Ever since they began summoning those demons, they don't talk to the rest of us. Have you been picked for one of the secret assignments yet? I can't imagine what they need us for if the mages can summon demons. But Jenna and Kemet disappeared last week, right after the ritual started, and nobody knows where they've gone. Stay ready. I'm not sure it's safe to talk anymore. That was one letter from a warrior demon, from a warrior Grey Warden, who become worried about his friends. There is still plenty of loot to find, and a lot of it can be... There are one or two chests that are quite useful. I think once we deal with the final siege point, it will become a lot clearer. There you go, so... And get down. Sadly, immune to my lightning, but not to fire. Being that close to a pride demon is never too wise. But so long as you can bring him down to his knees every now and then, everyone's just a little bit happier for it. Oh, 2,000 damage. Nice. Bringing this pride demon to his knees. There we go, that deals with him.
I suggest we hurry.
And a cleansing room.
Work of our forces.
Another one. And Sigil of the Gomordan Stormstrider. Electricity damage up 10%, all other damage down 50%. Don't really need to pick up the supply cache. A letter from Warden Commander Clorel to Magister Adamant. I am not untutored apprentice. The Grey Warden mages who left the circle just after their harrowing might take your explanations at face value, but I was an enchanter before I joined the Grey Wardens. That the sacrifices, the death, are necessary to bind the demons, I grant you. You know more of such things than I, and I make no judgment upon it. But the manner of my mages since binding the demons is still unsettling. They answer my questions readily, but the words are spoken by rote, and several of the non-mages have complained that their comrades seem cold and unfeeling since the ritual. Some of that is natural, I grant you. One cannot kill a brother and come away unchanged, but if there is more to this, I will have it from you. The Inquisition presses us to action. Continue the rituals. If we must destroy them before we venture into the deep road, so be it. But do not lie to me, Eramund. I stand against the Blight, and no man, no Inquisitor, and no Magister will get in my way. She's not mad. She just thinks she's doing the right thing. There we go. So now we need to double back on ourselves. You'll know the way to go as a demon comes from it. Oh god, the damage. It's so fun. It just, like, being a Knight Enchanter just gives you so much more options for attacking. It seems like someone tried to make away with some gold here. It didn't survive. Oh, did I get it? I got it. Nope. I'd be careful not to miss anything. And I believe going through this door will activate a cutscene.
Wardens! We are betrayed by the very world we have sworn to protect.
The Inquisition is inside, Clarel. We have no time to stand on ceremony.
These men and women are giving their lives, Magister. That might mean little in Tevinter, but for the Wardens, it is a sacred duty. It has been many long years, my friend.
Too many, Clarel. If my sword arm can no longer serve the Wardens, then my blood will have to do.
It will.
Stop them! We must complete the ritual!
This ends now.
It's done, Clarel! There will be no ritual and no demon army!
Then the Blight rises with no Wardens left to stop it! And the whole world dies! Is that what you want? And yes, the ritual requires blood sacrifice. Hate me for that if you must, but do not hate the Wardens for doing their duty!
We make the sacrifices no one else will. Our warriors die proudly for a world that will never thank them.
And then your Tevinter ally binds the mages to Corypheus!
Corypheus? But he's dead.
These people will say anything to shake your confidence, Clarel.
Bring it through!
You can actually see the demon they're trying to bring through.
Please! I have seen more than my share of blood magic. It is never worth the cost.
I trained half of you myself! Do not make me kill you to stop this madness!
Be ready with the ritual, Clarel. This demon is truly worthy of your strength.
And thanks to sparing the Wardens, you do get this little snippet of dialogue.
Listen to me! I have no quarrel with the Wardens. I've spared those I could. I don't want to kill you! But you're being used! And some of you know it, don't you?
The mages who've done the ritual. They're not right. They were my friends, but now they're like puppets on a string.
You cannot let fear sway your mind, Warden Chernoff.
He's not afraid. You are. You're afraid that you ordered all these brave men and women to die for nothing.
I honor your bravery, my brothers and sisters. But this is not the way. You have been tricked.
Clarel, we have come so far. You're the only one who can do this.
Perhaps we could test the truth of these charges to avoid more bloodshed.
Or perhaps I should bring in a more reliable ally.
That's one hell of a nose on
You
Ehrman.
might come here, Inquisitor. He sent me this to welcome you.
And now you see, don't you, Chlorel? Oh.
Clarel.
Help the Inquisitor!
Now we get a pretty massive pride demon. Just Mark of the Rift away. And yes, this dragon will bombard you with aerial assaults, but not massive damage. we go, and heal up. Down goes the Pride Demon. We just need to follow them. Ehrman ran this way, Chlorel chases Ehrman, we chase Chlorel. It works that way. There you go, you can see Chlorel just up ahead. She just turned the corner. Now we have some shades and terrors in front of us. If you're wondering why you always seem to drop in and out of combat, it's because of the dragon. It's not a glitch. The dragon gets too close to you like that, and you pull out your staff, you're in combat. So it's not a big deal. I know it slows you down and you're chasing someone down, but oh well.
You've destroyed the Grey Wardens.
You did that to yourself, you stupid bitch. All I did was dangle a little power before your eyes, and you couldn't wait to get your hands bloody. serve a new god.
I will never serve the Blight.
Oh.
War, victory. In peace, vigilance.
Run. Keep running.
Where are we?
We were falling. Is this... Are we dead?
No. The Inquisitor used the mark to open another rift. We fell through. I believe we're in the Fade.
The Fade looked much different the last time I was here.
The Fade itself is reacting to our presence here, much more strongly than I've ever seen before. Perhaps it's because we're here physically, instead of simply visiting in dreams.
The stories say you walked out of the Fade at Haven. Was it like this?
Maybe.
I don't know. I still can't remember what happened the last time I did this.
Well, whatever happened at Haven, we can't assume we're safe now. That huge demon was right on the other side of that rift Adamant was using. And there could be others.
In our world, the rift the demons came through was nearby, in the main hall. Can we escape the same way?
It's better than staying here.
Beats waiting around for demons to find us, right? There, let's go.
And there we go, guys, that's the end of that Dragon Age Inquisition, and we have finished off the Western approach in style. And we've also completed the part of the Siege of Adamant, and that's safely seen, well, I say safely, that's seen us into the Fade itself. As Ahriman told us in our last video, the mark on our hand allows us to pass safely into the Vale. We were falling into a ravine, so Hasting, the Inquisitor, did something he thought would save them, and that was to open a rift into another world, into the Fade itself. Otherwise they would have all fallen to their deaths. He did the only thing he possibly could. Not that he really knew he could do it. But anyway, we are in the Fade. This is the very heart of where our enemies lie. Thanks, guys, and I will see you on the next one. In the Fade.